Welcome back to Speak Up Queen, the podcast where we empower, uplift, and celebrate women who have reclaimed their voices to inspire others. Today we have Amanda. So let's welcome Amanda Harris to Speak Up Queen. Amanda, welcome. Can you start with what was the most limiting belief you had to overcome, and how did breaking free from it help you reclaim your voice?
Okay, so first of all, I want to thank you for having me today on Speak Up Queen. So I do appreciate the invite. So something that I had to unlearn, one of the behaviors is feeling unworthy. So a lot of things in my life I went through, I kind of like downspoke myself when I got older, saying that, okay, I can't do this because somebody's gonna do it, or I can't achieve this goal because somebody's already doing it. But it took a really good friend of mine to tell me, like, when you go in the store, there's 40 different kinds of bread and they're all useful. Somebody buys them all, or they wouldn't be there. So regardless if somebody is doing the same thing you're doing, or if you feel like you need to be farther, you are valuable and there's a use for you. So to go ahead and just keep striving and keep believing in yourself. And by doing that, you will start to see your worth. And I did.
Oh, wow. That is the most. I have never thought about that. Like, oh, that was such a nice explanation to know that. Oh, yeah. It is so beautiful. It is really, um, yeah, it's just amazing how it also, it's incredible how much strength it takes to challenge those deeply ingrained beliefs. And that sometimes we have people that is believing in us when we don't believe in ourselves yet. And it is amazing that your environment is also playing a huge role. The friends you have, the people in your life. So you've got an amazing friend for comparing you. Oh, it's just beautiful.
Yes.
Amanda, can you share a moment when someone's words or actions made you feel small and how you found the strength to rise above it?
Okay, so I've had a lot of times in my life where people's words or phrases or things that they said to me have made me feel small. So I suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder as well as anxiety. And a lot of times my anxiety gets up, and sometimes people think I have an attitude when it's really just anxiety rising up in the inside of me. So, I've had people call me sensitive or just tell me to get over it. And, those words do hurt you, but I end up having to, I always say, change the narrative. And one thing I had to learn about changing the narrative is that, yes, I'm sensitive, but that means that I have a good heart. And if I wasn't sensitive, it wouldn't help the people that I speak to, that I help, and that I mentor and that I encourage on a daily basis if I didn't have a sensitive heart.
It is, and it's sometimes, how can I explain it? People don't realize
Mhm.
what their words are actually doing to us, because if as a survivor you take on everything because you are searching
Mhm.
for validation in their opinions, and
Right.
and how can I say it? When we are acting in a different way, oh, she's overacting again, because my when I am overwhelmed or burnt out, I tend to be angry. My thing is, I will fight, I will scream, and that's a part
Yes.
that I actually had to realize that it's a part of me that still needs healing. It's a part of me
Mhm.
that is I suppressed because I was really afraid that what if I got angry about to the people that have hurt me? Would I be a bad person? What was gonna happen? So I am gonna be on this healing journey to heal that angry
Yeah.
inner child of mine. But people must just realize that there's nothing wrong with them. um to the people that is thinking that there is people what is wrong with other women or people, there's nothing wrong with any of us. It's actually what happened to us. Why do
Right.
we act the way we acting? And that is just our body of trying to keep us safe. It's just our bodies that's trying to keep us safe. And that's the
Yes,
amazing part of being human. Our bodies is here to protect us. Oh my word. And if you start to align with it, you will listen to it and you will realize that, oh my word, you're beautiful, mate, just the way you are. We are not perfect, and I don't want to be perfect. I want to enjoy every moment. I want to say, I love every cell in my body. Whether it
right.
so thanks for sharing that you the way you have turned that inspiring way you've turned something painful into growth. It's really a reminder that our resilience is often found in those difficult moments. So just know that I'm proud of you for being here. You are amazing. And you've
Thank you.
got this. You've got this, Queen.
Yes, and so I just want to tell people too. So I've struggled with the same things you did, and just not like trusting even on my own body. I am a survivor of human trafficking, so I never thought that maybe my body would be worth it, or if I was worth it, and just being there and having the help and the support. And yes, your healing journey is the hardest thing you'll ever do, but it's one of the most worth it, one of the most things that you need to do in order to get to the next phase in your life. So
Queen, thank you for showing up today and sharing. I'm not gonna talk anymore. I'm gonna cry. And I told you that I don't edit video, so I will. But thank you for showing up. Thank you for sharing that. I know it took a lot of courage to just say that you are a survivor of any type of abuse. Just know that I am very proud of you for showing up.
thank you.
What safety resources, spaces, or tools have been most impactful for your healing journey?
Okay, so I know we're going to talk about this too, but just the safety spaces. First of all, I had to find a good therapist and getting with someone who you can be completely honest with, because sometimes we're not even honest with ourselves. So having someone that you can talk to and go to and say, okay, I'm not okay today, but it's okay. And having that person is number one, the best thing I did. And then having mentors. I have strong women around me that I know that if I need to lean on someone, they're there. And that's, my spiritual mothers, Kathy and Miss Hartman, like they have been like the source that has kept me together. And then Vicky, who I wrote a book about, who was a manager. She started off as a supervisor, but is now a very important part of my life. And so she has become one of those people in my life who, I feel blessed to know because of her. And so she saved me from myself. And saving me from myself is what really got me. So having those people, then I have spiritual, they're spiritual too. So they directed me back to, the path of God when I felt like I was out of his eyes and out of his sight. Whatever higher power people believe in is great, but that is what I was able to do, and that end up helping me. Um so and that's what caused me to be where I am today.
Well, it's just, again, just letting these women know that when you have say your five best people, your safety resource, it can be mentors, it can be God, it can be your husband, it can be a coach. It can really be someone who is not gonna say, I still remember when I was 17 and I had to talk to a therapist. She was really making me feel so bad. She was
Yes.
sitting there with her notebook, writing things down while I'm talking, sending me home to write down everything that have happened to me in detail. I am 17 years old. I am re-triggered, re-traumatized. I don't have any coping mechanism, nothing to hold on to say, oh, I don't know what I have to do now. And then I had to go back and I had to do it all over and all over again. And
Right.
that was really something. You have to find yourself a good therapist, a good coach, that person that makes you feel safe. Um, and that is really, we can't heal if our bodies doesn't feel safe. And we can tell ourselves, no, I can trust this person. I can tell him my story or her my story. And
Right.
your gut will say, do you really? But at that stage, you're like, you just, shh, I know better. Your head is like, no, 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 no. I know better. What do you know? And yeah, it's just, you have to have people in your life that you can really trust. And luckily, our gut or our bodies will tell you nope or yes, let's open up. Um, so yeah, because not everyone is ready to hear our stories. That is something that
Right.
I have to learn. Not everyone, like Speak Up Queen community. We are women who have walked the walk. We have different paths, different things that have happened to us, but yet we are a community that lift each other up, and we can have it's a safe space to say, I am not okay today. I'm overwhelmed.
So okay, I can hear you now. Something happened where the speaker went off for a second, but I'm back.
I know that someone said, a few speakers said that it's because the moon is aligned with something, it is ruining technology. So I am blaming the moon. If something happens, the moon, it's not me.
Right. Yes, but yes, so yeah, it's about, and I've had experiences with horrible therapists as well. So I do firmly believe in that, but it's about keep going. And like you said, not everybody wants to hear our story, but not everybody is worthy of our story either. So
Yes, yes. I actually get chicken pox all over my body because that is so true.
yes.
Amanda, what was the first step you took to move from feeling silence to finding your voice, and how did that step change your life?
So I can say for me, and this was something really simple that people don't realize it until their ability to speak up has been taken away. And that was learning how to say no. You know, my body was taken away from me when I was 8 years old and to adulthood. So I struggled with a lot of times saying no to people. You know, that was one of the biggest things. So I just started little by little. If I felt like I didn't want to do something, saying no, or you know, and learning that no is a complete sentence. Because a lot of times I was saying no, then felt like I had to give a whole explanation on why I didn't want to do something or why I didn't feel comfortable doing something. And then I learned that no is a complete sentence. So once I say no, that's it. There's no bottom line. There's nothing else I need to tell you. Right now, it's just a no.
I love it. I love it. Um, yeah, it is just amazing.
Yeah.
What's one powerful lesson you've learned about self-worth, and how do you carry it with you as you continue to grow and inspire others?
So one of the best things I learned about self-worth is that we define our own self-worth. A lot of times, like I said, with what I've been through in my life, my self-worth a lot of times was dependent on others. What did they think I was? Who did they think I was? Sometimes you could get that stigmatized as this person that's mean or this person that's going through this. So I felt like I had no value and I had no worth. But in having my mentors and my spiritual connections and a good therapist, I was able to see that no, I am worth something. And the Bible says I'm more precious than rubies. So I tell myself that now, that even when I feel like I'm unworthy, that I am more precious than rubies. And because of that, then I know that there is greater for me.
Oh, it is just, I think when we just stop for a moment and realize that no one else can be us. No one have our DNA. No one have our fingerprints. No one have our voice. It is just amazing to realize that there's no one like you. Oh my word, there's no one like you. when you are on your healing journey, start believing in yourself. And if you don't believe in yourself yet, there's a community full of queens that will believe in you for while you are going and healing. Because I had to have mentors and people in my life who believed in me before I even believed in myself. And I will be forever grateful for them. Um,
Yeah.
Again, it's coming back to your environment and back to the people that is in your life. And like you said, it is no is just no is a sentence. And you don't need to be surrounded by people. When you start your seeing your worth, you quickly realize your light is dimming. It's gonna irritate a few people, and they might just say, nope, not this shine. This light is too shiny for me. I need some
Right.
sunglasses. Or some will come to your light, and you will glow and you will shine together, because you attract what you are giving out. Like we are energy, and if we
Right.
are positive energy, we just attract. And it's like, oh, where did that light come from? Where did this person just pop up in my feed? And I was like, wow. And that's where we are, like in this situation where we can connect and we can feel the energy. We can feel when we are positive, and you can feel like when I see a negative person who's always complaining or who's always seeing the bad, and
Mm.
I'm like, nah, block, 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 block. I just don't, nope. You can,
Right.
no, no. Um, because your energy is really important. And I don't say that we always have to be positive and happy, and it's all about rainbows and marshmallows and sunshine. It is about just having that safe space between women, or your environment, where you can have your ups and downs, but you don't stay in that victim negative mode for too long. It's okay to sit in the storm, because sometimes we need to have the storm to go back on our knees, pray, and to just have a little bit about a look in our, like when I am on my knees, I can see some dusting that needs to be done. I don't know about you, but I hate dusting. And that
Yeah.
is what then I can see. But when we are on our knees and a storm is hitting us and we are there, it's time for us to pray. It's time for us to pray and have a look. Whoa, what is this? The dust around me? Is it in my environment? Is it what I tell myself lately? Is it self-care? Is it a lack of sleep that is
Right.
making me go down that road? Because we are, I truly believe in the law of attraction. We attract what we give out. So sometimes self-care is one of those things that we don't do. I mean, I'm not gonna even lie. I have not been good to my body the last 3 weeks. And I do realize it, because it's telling me, Marika, you're
Mm.
tired. And we
Yeah.
really need to realize that when a storm hits, we are there to pray. We are there to have a look at all the dust that's there. What is going on? Why are we here? Yeah, it's just keep cleaning and keeping.
Yes. Yes, and that's great and sound advice to just keep cleaning even when you don't feel like it. And that's the same with the healing journey. When you don't feel like it, keep going, because it always gets darkest before dawn. So it's always going to be darkest in that journey before things start looking up.
And the sky will always be blue or whatever color you see. It's just that storm. That storm was gonna pass. I mean, when we went back to South Africa, we were really flying into weather. And it was the weather, it was all the thunder, everything, and it was such an amazing experience. But when we were above it,
Mm-hmm.
sky was still blue and the storm was down there. So sometimes put yourself back in the aeroplane or the plane and watch down, and just remember that this storm is just temporary. it's gonna pass, and then you're gonna see the sky again. But sometimes we need to just stop for a moment, and because there's always lessons to learn. There's always lessons to learning. There's no failure. There's only feedback. So when you are down on your knees, praying and cleaning, you just remember to be kind to yourself. Healing is messy. Oh my soul, healing is like really messy. Don't let anyone tell you it's a beautiful thing. It took me 5 years to become this person that I am today. But 5 years ago, I couldn't look myself in the mirror. I didn't believe anything that people said. When someone said, "Oh, your hair looks pretty. Oh, I love that dress." Or, "Oh, you look pretty." I was like, what do they want? Because as people's pleasers, it's like, oh, what do they want again? They are giving me compliments. Why do they want? What do they want? And
Right.
now, knowing your worth, you are like, oh, thank you. I must say, I love my hair. Oh, yes, this dress is looking pretty. Oh, yes, I do look pretty. So it's just amazing how healing can take us from somewhere where we didn't feel worthy, and now we are more precious than jewels or rubies. It's so amazing.
Yes, I love it. And I love you thinking like that. I love it. I love everything you're saying.
Well, Amanda, you are supposed to do the talking, not me.
Yeah.
If you could tell your 17-year-old one thing, what would it be and why?
If I could tell my 17-year-old self one thing, I would tell the 17-year-old me that you're going to make it. And the reason I say that because at 17 years old, I suffered a miscarriage. I suffered abuse. I felt suicidal. I had an attempt at 17. But as the years went past, I look back on that 17-year-old girl and I see the pain that she was in. But now I look back at her and I thank her for not only how she survived, but what she did in those moments to survive. So I look back and I tell myself, and if I tell that 17-year-old girl anything, is that you're going to make it. And it did get better later on. And so I tell myself that, and I just want to thank her for surviving the way she survived.
That's such a beautiful, a really beautiful message. I'm sure your 17-year-old self would be so proud of the woman you've become today. Um, and I think one thing that while we were talking about that was my 17-year-old. We were just doing the best that we could with the resources we had, the people in our lives, the support we had.
Right.
And I'm not blaming any person, my parents or anyone like that. I'm taking full responsibility, because when you take full responsibility for everything that have happened to you, because when you're waiting for your abuser or for someone to say that they are sorry for hurting you, it could just be a friend that tells you, "Oh, but you've gained a little bit about it. You have been gaining some weight." Even those people, I am just like, it's a rejection. It's a reflection of them at that stage in my life, and it's not about me. It is not about me. So I'm very proud of you. Oh my word. You and you, oh, you're just amazing. The way you show up, the way you smile, I'm proud of you, and I'm just so grateful that you are here today, sharing your story, and
Thank
for
you.
speaking up. Yes.
And I'm thankful to be here, and hopefully that it will help somebody else on their journey to see that their journey is worth it, no matter how they feel, no matter how many attempts that they had in their life where they wanted to end it, no matter if they had problems with self-injury like I did, regardless if they were abused, regardless of them feeling unworthy. I want them to know that it does get better, and it does change. And and you can live a productive life, and you can follow every dream that you may be deferred or deterred because you thought that you were not worth it. So I just want to tell people that if you look at me, you can look at, because the girl I thought I was even 5 years ago was not the woman that I am today.
Oh, yes. Yes. That is so true. And we are, even a month ago, we are the same person because we
Right.
are always growing. When you are starting your healing journey, and for some women might say, I don't need anything, I don't need healing, I am. It is no, Queen. We all have trauma. We all have something we can always grow and we can always heal. And not that there's something broken about us. It's just how life,
Right.
it's just a part of our lives. But and you can let me know if I'm wrong, but the woman that I was a month ago, or even a week ago, and the woman, oh my word, I love her, and I
Yeah.
must say, I love every part of my journey. The 17-year-old, the 21st, I love all the 30th old, every part of that woman that I had to become this person that I am now, today, has helped me, and I'm thanking for her. I am proud of her. And you must just remember to be kind to yourself. We don't know it all, but there's women, there's people who have already walked the walk, ready to inspire other women. Yeah, it's just amazing.
Yes.
How do you
And I
see?
love what you're doing with the Speak Up Queen and empowering women. I love it.
Amanda, I couldn't done it without you. Can you imagine 100 episodes with me just talking? Not that I don't mind talking, I love talking, but 100 episodes with just me. I was telling
Right.
my husband, I don't think 100. And I was like, shoot, maybe I must just shoot for 10. And then my mentor said, Marika, are you serious? That just 10 women? And I was like, she was like, what number makes you uncomfortable? I was like, 100. I don't know if I'm gonna have, and now I have 100 women. So I wouldn't have done this journey without each one of you. My mission is not about myself. My mission, really, Speak Up Queen, is for that 17-year-old me that was silenced and said it was my fault. I've asked for it. No one will believe me. That's for her. Um, and for every woman out there who was silenced, who didn't think that she had a voice. That is, Speak Up Queen is all about each and every woman. It's a safe space for each and every woman to not just know that your voice matters, your story matters, and this is yours. This is your safe space. Yeah, but thank you. I wouldn't have
Thank
done it without you.
Well, thank you.
How do you set boundaries to protect your energy and peace? And what have you learned from this practice?
So the boundaries that I've set before, so people think that, and I got a lot of backlash and controversy for this, but people think when you forgive somebody that you're just supposed to be open until letting things remain the way they were before.
Yes.
No, even when you sin and you ask God for forgiveness, you're supposed to repent and not do it again. So I set those boundaries with myself. I might forgive you, but my forgiveness has boundaries. You don't get the same me that you had before. You don't get the same level. If I was around you every day and then you cross that boundary and now I'm not, you might see me once a week. You might see me once a month. You might not see me at all. But these are boundaries that I had to set to protect myself. So one of my biggest boundaries is if I don't feel comfortable with something, like if I'm going somewhere, I need to know where I'm going, who I'm going to be with. If I have to, if I sit down like at a table at a restaurant or something, I have to be able to see all the way around just to make sure I feel safe. If those things can't happen, I can't go. And I'm not even sorry about it anymore. So having those boundaries is just respecting ourselves. So I tell people when you set boundaries, you're respecting yourself. So don't ever feel bad for respecting yourself enough to put those boundaries in place.
And boundaries is just an act of self-love. And the way
Yes.
the way you've embraced it is inspiring. And it's just a reminder to all of us that protecting our peace is really essential. And the people who is really meant to be in your life, they will respect each boundary. Because like I didn't have boundaries in place at all. But when I
Right.
start, and when you are starting, and I'm just going to talk about everyone, I'm not just going to talk about, but when you are starting to create boundaries, first of all, it's an act of self-love. Yes, you are gonna, there is gonna be a few people that's gonna leave you, and then you just wish them well. But then the people that is really in your life, they are gonna respect your boundaries. Like you are when you want certain things done to feel safe. That is all about healing, is all about feeling safe. And it is just, you will have the right people will respect your boundaries. They will actually say, whoa, thanks for speaking up. And then I'm like, what do you mean for speaking up and saying these things? They're like, we always thought that you were never going to tell us off, because some people, they don't realize when they are hurting you. And
Right.
when you are starting, you are setting boundaries, you let them know that I don't like the way you talk to me. And no, like you said, no is a full sentence. No, that's just no. How do you stay grounded when challenges come up now compared to before?
Okay, so before the old me used to just get like very flustered or anxious or upset like very quick because these challenges, they're ruining my day. They're throwing a wrench in what I had planned. They, are taking me places where I don't want to be. So I would just get very upset versus now I prioritize everything. Is this really ruining my day? I look at it, I have to be analytical. So I analyze the situation before I realize, do I need to get mad at this? Do I need to lose my temper, or do I need to just remain calm and stay grounded and face the adversity? And more often than not now, I just stay calm and I face the adversity as it comes.
Just stop and breathe.
Stop and breathe and count to 10, because by the time, if you count backwards from 10, by the time you get to 1, half the time you don't even remember what you were anxious or upset about to begin with.
Yep, that's so true. That is really so true. Um, but when I have to go, I'm like, I'm hearing my mom's voice, 1, 2, or 5. And I was like that with my son also. I'm not gonna
Right.
and I was just start counting. But again,
Right.
it's just it is amazing how we have coping mechanisms, and there is so many resources out there. Like a simple, like you said, just count to 10, calm your nervous system down, go outside for a walk, do some breath exercises, telling yourself you're safe, I've got this. Um, and there is no such thing as a bad day. It's just a bad moment. And that is
Right.
something that I had to learn. That was something that I was like, Marika, it's not a bad day. It's just a bad moment. In a few minutes or even a half an hour later, when you grounded yourself, it's like, huh, it was really not that bad. I was overreacting, but then again, it's not overreacting. That's a part of myself that is re-triggered because someone said
Yeah.
something in a different way. And but we have to we that's why all of you amazing women get on this show to share your techniques, your tools, your resources, so that women out there can know that there is so much resources out there. There's really a lot of resources out there. Do try everything. Not every one of us like journaling. Not every one of us like to be outside feeling grounded or feeling there. But there is so much things that we as women can do to just feel safe in our own bodies and just to stay grounded and say, I've got this. I've got this.
Yes. And we do have it. We just have to know that we have it.
Definitely. How do you define thriving today? And what mindset shifts or practices helped you embrace that definition?
So how I define thriving today is doing it anyway. And, being a survivor, sometimes we let fear stop us. We let the pain leave us stagnant and not go where we're supposed to go. And so today, I define thriving as keep going regardless of what it looks like. Even when you don't see the way out, still walk the tunnel. Even when you feel like you're stuck, keep walking because eventually you'll find a door that will open. So thriving to me is really essential, and it means to keep going no matter what it looks like. And as one of the pastors that I've listened to, Joyce Myers, always says, to do it afraid. Because when we do it afraid, we find, value in things that we would never find value in. We find value in our valleys. We find, safety in our sinkholes, like really, and that's just doing it afraid. So to me, thriving is doing it anyway, doing it afraid, doing it when you don't see a way out, when you see a way up. That's what the definition of thriving is to me.
When you were talking like that and with the tunnel and things, I read a book and it was about a dad and his two sons that it was snowing and the son was asking, Dad, but how are we gonna get home? It's almost like I can't remember Hansel and Ansie in Greek. I don't know what they are called in English. My Afrikaans brain is like, no, I don't know what the English word is, but we are doing that. And the dad just said, just one step at a time. It was dark, just one step at a time. Hold my hand, just one step at a time. And that is where I am a big believer in God, and uh, He is one step at a time. Don't worry, don't. I've got it all under control. Don't fear. He is always saying to us, don't fear, because I
Mhm.
have it in control. It's just one step at a time. And sometimes, yes, the other boy was misstepping and he was just like going off path. And sometimes we are going to get off path. But
Mhm.
then we have mentors, we have the Lord, we have people that is saying, come back. We are on the right path. Yes, sometimes the choices we make is like, that was, first of all, that was might not be my dream. It might have been someone else's dream that I just attract or adapt. And I thought, oh, this is my dream. I want to do it. And then you try it and it's like, this is not really me. I don't like doing this actually. um but you will and then you will start, when you are aligning yourself with your own body and your own needs, you feel, that is me, this is mine. The Lord put it in my imagination to start this and to just say one step at a time. And thriving means something different for each one of us. Um,
Mhm.
Thriving can be for some women to just wake up each day and brush her hair. Today I'm thriving. I just did something else. And it's also a way of what makes you feel proud of yourself, not about anything else, but the journey you had to take to become this person or this woman that you are today. It is just like, whoo,
Right.
yeah, it's just
Mhm.
the last question. What made you decide to be featured on Speak Up Queen? And how does it feel knowing that there's a safe space for women to share their stories and inspire others?
So I'm actually honored to be on Speak Up Queen. And I love it because I too have a podcast where we bring mental health to the forefront and we talk about mental health in communities that will be underprivileged and underserved. So I am happy to share my safe space and your safe space. So I love that Speak Up Queen is here to give women that safe space to talk, to tell their stories, to realize that they're not alone. And I feel very honored and blessed that you have chosen me to be a part of this and to tell my story today.
You are amazing. I just love, and that is, again, it is for me such an honor to have each one of you on my show. Because we are all making a difference. We are
Yeah.
using our pain to help other women. We are survival guides for women, for that 17-year-old that didn't have any resources, the one that didn't know about podcasts, that didn't know about that there's women out there empowering each other, that there's women out there who's creating safe spaces for women. Oh, it is just amazing that I can be part of your journey too. And again, when I started this journey, this podcast 4 weeks ago, I was just saying, Lord, lead the way. I don't know who's going to show up. I don't know who's the woman that you need me to be on here. And you are one of the chosen ones. We are the chosen ones. And I think as soon as you know that you have something so incredible to share, and there is so many different communities out there. And some people might not even like Speak Up Queen. And that is okay. For me, it's not about myself. For me, is again a safe space for women. And some women don't like to be in Speak Up Queen. And that is okay. But there is, as long as you find your tribe and as long as you find a community where you feel safe to be yourself,
Right.
that's all that I want. I just want you to have a safe space in the world where you can tell your story, where you can know that your voice matters and you are amazing, and that it is really just my wish that every woman, every person, not just women, but that every person before they die just know their worth and don't stay stuck in society, but that they will realize that, oh my word, they are so much more, especially when you show up authentically, just the way you are, and you love your flaws, and you just remind yourself that you are beautifully made, you are valuable, you are important, you are enough, and you're worth it. That's my wish for everyone that had been hurt, and for people, for women, and for people, but especially women that mightn't feel that they are alone and no one will understand what they are going through. Just that there's places, there's really places for women um everywhere. And yeah, it's just thanks for being a part of for my journey, but also for sharing your incredible journey with us today. Your story is really a testament to the strength, resilience, and courage it takes to not only heal but to thrive. So, to everyone listening today, remember that your voice matters, your story matters, and together we can inspire change. So, if today's episode touched your heart, please subscribe, leave a comment, and share this with someone who really needs to hear it. So, until next time, Queens, keep speaking up and stepping into your power.